Okay, we got Bailey jumping on. Say hi to Cookie for me, please. Chris is still trying to connect. Hey, Bailey. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. This is on professionalism, and hopefully we'll put this out on the internet and it'll become viral because there are so many agents out there today that are not acting professionally, right? But the one thing is, the great thing about Gateway is, our agents have the commitment to excellence, right? You guys all want to get better all the time. That's why you're doing the trainings and things along those lines. And I don't know what particular order, because I've got 3 pages of notes here for our class today. And I know Penny had some things that she also wanted to cover, but we hold a lot of these things near and dear to our heart. So the one thing is be professionally dressed, right? I mean, there was someone I saw recently and they were wearing like a bikini top showing houses to their clients, right? I mean, that's just insanity. And then if at all possible, wear your name badge, right? Again, to be the professional that's out there. Ooh, those guys are trying to get back in. And then this is a pet peeve of mine, having a clean car, right? And having an organized car on the inside. What would you think if your clients came in and saw your car and it was all disheveled, a bunch of crap in it, that's disorganized? I would be personally concerned about that myself if I was dealing with a realtor that didn't have their car organized and clean, right? And then on top of that, we talked about this in the past, Paul, with the mentees, like having certain things in your car at all times so that in case you break down, right? You got flares, you got a jack, what were some of those things that we had listed before? Do you remember, Paul?
Yeah, we had a lot of things related to basic house maintenance, like a little small step stool, paper towels,
Flashlight,
Windex, what do you call those things? A little quicker picker upper thing, where you just a dust buster,
right?
That's charged for when you're doing a showing and all of a sudden there's a bunch of bugs in the corner, a broom and dustpan, stuff like that, so that you're ready to go in case you need it.
Yeah, you're just always prepared. So we can come up with that list again. Maybe that's something we can find. Jennifer one in. We've done it before. And then, obviously carrying business cards, right? There's so many times, oh, you're a realtor, what, do you have a card?
Sorry.
And then the other thing would be, are you up to date on the market? What's going on? So it's, again, attending trainings. One thing this weekend, I went to show a house and the rubber thing was off the lockbox and the lockbox was broken. It's like, what kind of appearance does that give the sellers? You can't take care of your equipment. Go get a new little clip, right? I mean, it's little things like that that make a big difference overall. Right now, do you have enough supplies for your listings as far as hand sanitizer, booties? Are they in a nice basket? Again, professionally shown. And then also, do you have brochures at the house with photos on it, nice description, or do you just have the MLS printout, or do you just have nothing? I'd say right now I'm going to more houses that don't have anything at them, and I'm sure the reason that the agents are saying that is they don't want to spread COVID, right? But I think that that's just probably an excuse for not wanting to do their job. And then over and over again, are you doing professional photos? if you're getting a listing and you're going to make $10,000, spend $250 on photos. Don't use your cell phone to take the pictures, right? And also make sure that the house is staged properly. You have toilet seats down, stuff like that. I mean, I don't even know how many pictures I've seen with toilet seats up. It just does not present the house in a positive light, in my opinion. So again, follow the golden rule, even if other people are not following it. Do unto others as you'd have them do to you. This is one piece of the puzzle that I'm having a very hard time with, and I'm sure you guys are too. Responding promptly to inquiries and requests for information. I'm asking, hey, how many contracts you have? What's the seller want to do? Timing wise, they need a post settlement occupancy. And it's 2 days before the agent gets back to me, and then the house is under contract, right? So it's, don't be that agent, all right? Get back to people quickly. Schedule appointments and showing as far in advance as possible. So on Saturday, I got a showing request at 2:36 for a showing at 2:30. I responded at 2:41. It was okay to show the house. And at 2:45, I got the rudest email. We couldn't get in the house. We never got proper notification that we could show the house. If you got back to us sooner, we would have been able to see the house. It's like, at 2:36, you sent a request to show at 2:30. Who was not being professional there. But again, make sure that you have enough advance notice on your appointments. And then this one is another one that drives my sellers and myself crazy. If you're delayed or need to cancel, let them know. Don't just not show up, because the sellers have left the house. They've organized the house, they've gotten themselves prepared to have the house shown, and then nobody shows up. Don't be that agent. If a property, again, explain the situation. If you can do it right on your phone in the showing time app. Got delayed, buyer chose another area. Explain to them why the appointment has been canceled. Also, leave your business card in the house when you've shown it so the owners know you were there, all right? You go in, so my sellers will call, we were gone for 2 hours, someone was supposed to be there, do you know if they were here or not? Well, I don't know if they don't leave a card either. You have to go in and check central lock and all that stuff. Again, leave your card, it's a professional courtesy. Never criticize the property when you're in the property. This did happen to me once. And my clients and I were totally trashing a house, and we went into the kitchen and the owner was there and just like stared at us with their mouth wide open. So reserve your negative comments for after you leave the property. Don't say it there. And then also, it's like when you're showing the house, instead of saying, oh my God, isn't that an awful color? Ask, what do you think of that color? Because my clients, they like that color when I said it to them one time. So you kind of have to, don't bash the house and don't bash things. Ask opinions of what they think of the house, okay? Let's see. Don't use the lockbox and go straight into the house, right? Knock at the door, ring the doorbell, let them know you're there. Sometimes I'll ring the doorbell, knock and ring the doorbell, then go in and then announce myself, right? One of the things that happened with one of my listings recently is my seller usually takes her shower at 9 a.m. So we didn't have any showings until 9:30. And she had just gotten out of the shower and it was 9:15. The appointment showed up early and just walked into the house. Luckily, she was dressed, but you just don't not announce yourself when you go into a house. You let everybody know. Talk about that. Okay. If you're going to use the bathroom in somebody's house, or if your client's going to use the bathroom, it's always best to get permission beforehand. And if the house is vacant, make sure the water's on, okay? Because something could happen and then the water shut off, you can't flush the toilets. and it becomes a huge issue. Um, and then this was something that just came up this past weekend. A buyer's agent went to the owner's house and presented the contract with a bottle of wine without going through the listing agent first. And they talked about how great their clients were and how much they needed the house, and would they sign the contract right there. That is an ethics violation. You do not do that. Always communicate with the listing agent. And if the listing agent's not being responsive, call their broker. And if their broker's not being responsible, tell me and I'll call their broker. Okay? So there's a chain of events there that has to happen. Obviously, beware of and respectful for different cultures. Show courtesy and respect to everyone. Be aware of and meet all deadlines. Okay, so you have to know the paperwork and you have to know the timelines associated with the paperwork so that you don't put your clients in jeopardy. We had an open house on one of my lists, a home inspection on one of my listings last week. The agent sent over the inspector's report and the list of recommended repairs by the inspector with no home inspection removal contingency addendum. They missed the deadline. And in her email to me, she said, do everything on the inspector's list of recommended repairs. The buyer didn't sign it. There was not on a form, didn't say what to do. So again, they missed the deadline. Seller didn't have to fix anything, right? Because the deadline was missed because they didn't follow the paperwork appropriately. And it's never a problem until it's a problem, right? Obviously, only promise what you can deliver, so under promise, over deliver. Always identify yourself as an agent. Paul, I think you had that situation with the daycare, right? Where you were showing somebody a daycare and the guy was an agent and he didn't tell you until after like the third or fourth showing.
Right.
So tell that story.
Yeah, I mean, you get these people that I don't know why they want another agent. I'm not sure why that happens. It's happened to me a couple of times where they call about a property, they want me to show it to them, but they're actually agents. So I haven't researched to see if they're agents in good standing or not, but something fishy has gone on there. And it's always with these independent brokerages. It's not with the national franchises. It's
right. Just a matter of training.
Yeah.
So be responsible for everyone you bring into the listing, right? So kind of almost have, and is everybody following Jared James now on Facebook? So he did our training a couple weeks ago, Paul. Did you see that one? Oh, that was a good one. You should go back and look at it. I think it was the best one we've had so far during this COVID stuff. But he just posted the listing agreement with kids. Did you guys see that yesterday? I would almost convert that to a buyer agent contract with kids too, because kids can't touch toys. They can't play with people's stuff. You know, they can't go running into the kids' rooms upstairs. You have to be responsible for everybody. And especially when you have a husband and wife say, hey, let's go look through the house together, right? That way we can talk about each room and what you like and don't like and what you think about it and so forth, so we can have open lines of communication. You don't want the husband going upstairs and the wife going downstairs and then you don't know where they are and you don't know what they're doing. This is a big pet peeve, and it's happening a lot at NVAR with professional standards. People are giving out combinations on combo boxes to buyers, and then they're letting people in the house by using the Central Lock app. They're getting the social security number, or what's that, serial number of the lockbox, and then getting the code and giving it to their clients. So you want to make sure that no one ever has unaccompanied access to the property, okay? And initially, when things were happening with COVID, agents didn't want to share the house, so they were asking the listing agents for the access codes to their properties. Never do that, okay? Never, ever. And never give out a combination lockbox number, right? And then this is something too, when you go into a house, leave it as you found it. If the doors are all cracked open 6 or 8 inches so people don't have to open them, all the light switches are on, leave the light switches on, leave the lights on, leave doors open. The other thing too that happens a lot is people will lock the garage door from the garage into the house, right? And so what happens then? You have to go to the house, get into the house through the lockbox and unlock that garage door so your seller can get in the house. I don't know how that happens more and more these days. People don't leave the house as they found it, okay? Obviously, this is, like leaving the drapes open and things like that, okay? And if you think something's a problem, call the agent and ask, right? Especially if the front door is unlocked, call and say, hey, the front door's unlocked, do I leave it unlocked? Don't just lock it because they may have walked around the block to let you guys into the house. If there's any vandalism, obviously report that right away because you don't want to be held responsible for something somebody else did. All right. So be considerate of people's property. It's nice if someone leaves a bowl of candy for you guys to eat, but don't eat it in the house. Take it and eat it in your car or in their car. You don't want to have people eating stuff and then drop a piece of chocolate on the floor and then step on the white carpet, right? That's going to be a problem. So don't eat in the house. Obviously, don't bring drinks into the house, things along those lines, okay? I'm not a big fan of this, but it happens all the time. Don't sit on people's furniture. Don't go into a bedroom and everybody sit down and talk about the house. If you're going to sit on something, sit on a hard surface like a bench in a kitchen or something like that. You don't want to mess up people's furniture. If there's sidewalks and driveways, use those. Don't cut through the grass to go into the house and track in mud and dirt. And don't encourage your people to do that either. And of course, right now, supposed to be wearing booties and taking off shoes. Also, be aware if somebody wants to take pictures of the house to show to a spouse or take a video of the house, don't just do it. Ask for permission before you do it. And when you're having your buyer consultations, if someone has been deployed or if it's a relocating spouse and only one of them's there, they're going to want to take videos. They're going to want to take pictures, not just have the ones that are online. So ask before you go to any of those houses, okay? And then respond to other calls, emails promptly and courteously. So I talked about how that agent was rude and saying how I didn't get back to them promptly, made me look bad to my clients because my clients get the feedback forms. And then I had to explain to them what happened. Amy got one yesterday that said, this was the worst showing I've ever had as a realtor. You totally wasted my time and my client's time. They wanted 3 bedrooms upstairs. You advertised this as a 3-bedroom. It was really a 2-bedroom with a rec room in the basement, and on and on and on. It was pretty rude. And then Amy said, can I respond to this guy? And I said, yes, respond professionally, because in the listing, it clearly said 2 bedrooms upstairs, 1 bedroom downstairs. In the remarks, it said that there's only 2 bedrooms upstairs, and bedroom or room in lower level could be considered a bedroom. So she clearly said in advance that it was a 2-bedroom upstairs. So again, people can be rude. Just respond accordingly, no matter how rude they are, and let them know that that's not the case. Notify the listing broker if there appears to be inaccurate information in the listing. So where you see this a lot is like neighborhoods like Heritage Hunt, where there's an initiation fee of $3,600, or Lansdowne, where it's $2,500, and the agents don't put that in the information. You may want to let them know, because maybe you don't know that it does, and somebody can tell you. That's good. Be open to that kind of feedback. But again, notify brokers of that kind of information. Also make sure that if you have pets, you let people know that there's pets, even if they're caged, so that they're not scared, or if they are allergic to cats, things like that. Um, okay, avoid inappropriate use of endearments. This one agent years ago, sweetie, hey honey, hey sweetie pie, can you come on, sweetie? Don't talk to me that way. All right, I don't. You're not my wife. You know, you're not my girlfriend. Don't talk to me that way. But anyway, she gave everybody hugs. She sat in the house. She wouldn't leave the house. Um, the whole time that we were there, you know, waiting for the owner to come home. And then she was like touchy feely, everything like that. That's just totally inappropriate. Um, and then this is one that I've been asked in the past, um, but do not prospect at other realtors open houses or similar events. What I've been asked before is, hey, can I go sit out in front of a model home and talk to people before they go in? The answer is no. Okay, you can't go to builder properties and try and poach buyers going into the house. Now, I've seen people do it and I've heard people do it, and I've been with my clients and they are just like flabbergasted that someone would have the nerve to go into a builder model or into an open house and try and get other people's potential clients.
Hey, Scott, can I add to that really quick?
Yes, sir.
I know an agent at KW, and she was holding an open for for the listing agent, and a buyer came with their buyer agent, and the agent stood outside and was handing out their business card to everyone visiting that open house. That is totally disrespectful.
Totally disrespectful. Yeah, it's unbelievable. So also, I know you guys do it. Always make sure that you return keys to the lockbox. If for some reason it does happen, go back and replace it as soon as possible. Okay, because sometimes mistakes do happen in that regard. But where I see it's a bigger problem is agents take the key so other agents can't get in the house and show the house in a competitive market. Make sure you're not that agent, right? And then it's a reputation business, so you want to have the best reputation out there and get referrals from other people throughout time. So the other thing that I think differentiates agents is going to be paperwork, right? Have paperwork properly filled out. Don't leave blanks on what conveys yes or no. Check yes and no. Don't just check yes, right? The other thing is have all the paperwork filled out by the clients, and especially the last page of the contract by you. It is easy to do. It's easy to find that information. And now there's a form for information on purchasing this property that you can fill out and upload into MLS. Okay. Also, in MLS, have the disclosure, have that information on purchasing this property, and any other documents like floor plans, surveys, anything like that. Upload as much information as you possibly can into MLS to make the other agent's job easier. But also, when you go on a listing presentation, you can show your listings to the sellers and say, look, this is all the information I put in. This is how I have my listings presented in MLS. So put the rooms, put what kind of carpets in the rooms, put if there's a fireplace, what type of fireplace. Go in and fill out that room information and room dimensions, right? And again, it differentiates you because agents aren't doing that. Have a descriptive analysis of the property in the description section. Again, make sure that you're differentiating yourself from other agents out there. Okay. Any questions on being professional? Or any comments or any other things? Yes, Mandy.
One area on the contracts that drives me crazy when people don't fill it out is in the conveyances, how many items are conveying. So refrigerator, 2, or even the zones for the HVAC. It's like 2 zones or 1 zone. That makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, be thorough, be complete, do your job, be professional. and then you get referrals, right? And then you can tell stories to your clients as to why they need to use you versus somebody else, and what you see agents doing all the time and how you don't do those things. Obviously, you're not going to be using names, but just different scenarios and different situations, and how you act professionally versus them. Were you going to say something, Eddie?
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, lately I've seen listings where they just have one pic of the exterior.
Right.
I'm like, how do these people get hired? Like, I'm not gonna waste my time and drive to Centerville to look at a house because inventory is low because you only have one picture and then it's a dump. I don't understand how these people even get hired in the first place.
Right. Yeah. The other thing too, again, I'm working with some clients and they don't want to have 2 bedrooms upstairs. They want 3 because they've got 2 kids, right? And so, it said 3 bedrooms. It came on the market. They immediately sent it to me and said, "Can we go see this?" I read the listing before setting up the appointment and saw there's only 2 bedrooms. I was like, "Hey, Jay, are you sure you really want to see this? There's only 2 bedrooms," right? I could have wasted their time driving from Manassas to Centerville. The house was like 5 minutes from my house. I could have done it, but they're like, "Oh my God, we didn't even catch that. Thank you so much." Or look at the map, right? Pull up the map. See if it backs to a busy road. See if it backs to railroad tracks. See if it backs to power lines. And you can ask your clients, "Hey, are you sure you want to see this house? It's like 5 feet in the backyard from the house behind it." So again, the more information that you disseminate prior to showing houses through what's in MLS, the better. You don't want to waste your client's time.
Can I
Yes.
say something? True Place, I switched to True Place after we did our presentation on them.
Yeah,
They include the community photos, which I
Right.
thought was awesome. So for the same price, I pay for the photos. They will give me photos of like Camera Station or Brambleton or something. And now I have those to use in all my listings.
Right.
And all my clients are remote. So it's really nice for them to be able to see the different communities.
Yeah, that's good. Cool. Any other comments or questions? No? You don't have any war stories you want to share, Paul?
I've got several war stories, and most of them are totally inappropriate. But no, nothing else to share. That was a pretty good list of how to behave and what to look for.
Right. And what to tell people how you act or how you respond. Bill, are you going to say something, buddy?
Sorry about that. I'm getting my glass replaced in my car. My dogs were barking and had to let them out, so I've been in and out.
All right. Well, again, just make sure that you know what you're doing. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call us. All right. Very good. Be safe. Make wise decisions when going in public so you can remain healthy and go sell something.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.